Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a T-34-85M. It's a Tier 6 Soviet Premium Medium. It's located on the northeast spawn of Arctic region under the command of the TheCrazyPlatypus. Well, last time we saw this tank it was actually on Prokhorovka, and the TheCrazyPlatypus was in an encounter game. This one's slightly different, standard battle Arctic region, otherwise known as Mannerheim line. It's got an 85mm gun, which is capable of doing 180 alpha and penetrating 144mm with standard ammo, and with the premium APCR he's capable of doing 194mm. He's having a quick look down the centre of the map to see, and he's spotted somebody straight away. It's a VK-2801-105, that's the Tier 6 German premium light tank. It looks like he's already taken a hit from somebody, and we've spotted a super chappie off to the south. It's a Tier 6 game with only Tier 6 tanks in it. Now the T-34-85 is kind of a universal tank, you might say. Oh, did he hit something there? I think he might have. We didn't see the shell come out the other end. It looked like that super chappie. Oh, he wasn't hit. No, I thought for a second he was, but he wasn't. But there's an enemy T-34-85M right up on top of the hill, and yes, he's been hit, so he's pulled back. That was just a speculative shot, just to see if anybody's still there. I'd be surprised if that super chappie... Oh, he did get hit twice, at least twice. And it could be that both of those rounds actually came from the TheCrazyPlatypus. Okay, well, something he spotted is that there's a rather large force coming up that direction, and although there's a poodle there to hold them back using his gun depression, I think he's none so certain that they are going to succeed. And it's far better to be sitting back here pumping rounds into the enemy than it is to be up close getting plugged full of holes yourself. Well, that's another hit that he's managed to get, this time on the Skoda T25. The first shot hit the T-34-85M. There must have been more than one of them. In fact, there's two of them on the enemy team. And he's getting more and more damage at a distance. It's a very good gun. It's very repetitive, very quick. 4.99 seconds, nearest damage 5 seconds, but it's 180 damage each. Well, nearly, that's the alpha. It's a big hit every time it hits the target, and it's very reliable. You just keep pumping those rounds in. It's almost like a 90mm round virtually every time, but without the full 90mm alpha. But of course, 90mm rounds actually have normally about an 8-second reload. And yeah, he took a hit there from somebody who was hiding behind the bush. The T-34-85M managed to get a shot off using the bush mechanic, and that was those bushes directly up on the mound. There they are. Pops one into the Crusader. We can see a VK there as well. You can see now that he made the right decision to pull back, because by pulling back he can keep this up. If he'd been close with the poodle as they went down, then he would have taken significant damage. We've still got to watch out for that T-34-85. There he is. And he gets around in through his side. Can you get another one in? Yes, he does, and he kills him. Now, can you see about that VK? No, he's being cautious now. Being very cautious. I think it helped that our platoon mate, the Dickermax, actually was covering the other side, because it made them think twice about poking on us. And the super chappie dies in the south. He tried to sneak up behind us, but it didn't work. Now we're 3 down on the enemy, but we seem to have the position actually in our favour. Another shell into the VK. He managed to get a low roll, oh, high roll actually, 196. The Crusader is trying to get to the Dickermax. Takes another one through the engine bay. The Dickermax 105 takes him out, or is it? No, it wasn't. It was our other T-34-85, but now we've got a KV-2 to deal with. And he's just killed the Dickermax, unfortunately. But now he's in trouble, because he's going to keep taking these rounds The VK pops up to try and get a shell in. He fires the one right underneath the gun mantlet, which is exactly the weak spot to go for. Just underneath the gun mantlet, that's where it's aimed. And he kills the KB2. And now it means he's only got the VK to deal with for the moment round here. He has got some guys behind him, but they've got our team, the rest of our team, the one who went down the ice road. He's got them behind us, and we take a round from the VK. And I think we did take some damage there, but the VK is no more. Now, there's a Type 58 tried to sneak up again behind us. Didn't get close enough really to do any damage to us. Got intercepted by our T-34-85M, the other one. So 5 kills now for the TheCrazyPlatypus. If he gets one more, he will get a Top Gun. And he might be able to take out this Type 58, which of course, as you know, is basically a Chinese version of the T-34-85M. But that guy's pulled all the way back and he's just been wiped out. There's only 3 enemies left. A T-34-85M, the one who was up on top of the hill, the Hellcat, and an SU-100. Now, we haven't seen the Hellcat or the SU-100, but we did see that T-34-85M before, and we know he's taken damage, albeit that it was probably just one shot. But he wasn't in the action that we just saw. He wasn't engaging with the rest of the team. So you've got to wonder if he was hanging back here because he was an inexperienced player, and that's why he wasn't getting involved. Now, TheCrazyPlatypus still has plenty of health. He's got 60% of his health, actually. Pretty good going, actually, considering all the action he was taking. And he did take a few hits. He managed to avoid a hit from the KB2. That was the big one. Of course, he did take a hit from the enemy T-34-85M. And that Crusader really was going after the Digmax. He made a big error. There's the T-34. He was still round the corner, hiding up on top of the hill, mainly because he's an inexperienced player. And I think the TheCrazyPlatypus is going to try and get into a position where he can get shots in this guy. There you go. He's distracted. He's showing us the side of his turret. So long as he's distracted, we keep a couple of rounds in. That's it. A couple more. Nice, right into the engine bay on that one. Didn't slow him down though, so he didn't get the damage engine, but oh, now that one hit the tracks, I think. I think it did, but he's trying to sneak in and get shots. Now, wait for it, there you go. Beautiful, lovely kill. That's his Top Gun. So, there's a Hellcat out there in an SU-100. The Hellcat's already taking damage, but look, he's just finished off our T-34-85M. He knows we're here, and he's hanging around. Hello, Mr. Hellcat. That's one. Rounds will just go straight through him because our rounds have got huge penetration on a hull that's got no armour. And that's the kill. So, 7 kills. He could get a Radley Walters if he can take out the SU-100. The question is, where is that tank? And at the moment, he's being cautious. He doesn't want to pop up and then suddenly get hit by a 100mm round. So he'll take away all of his, or 122, because he'll take away all his health with just one shot. Now, he did get a 6th sense warning, so the enemy knows he's here and can see him, which makes me think he's a little further back in the trees. He hasn't tried to take out our KV-1S yet, but the moment he does, if he has got the 122, he's got a long reload, and that's when we can make our move. Well, he hasn't tried to take them out yet. Now, that might mean that he's actually to the north, not to this current position, not over in the tree line. Yeah, and I think the KV-1S has suddenly realised that. He's up here. He's to the north. And when we were popping up out of the gully, he could see us. Okay, he's being sneaky now. He's using... Oh, there he is! He was to the north. He did try to hit us. And he is now in reload, and he's a one-shot. This could be a Radley's. Oh, and the ram kill goes in from the KB-1S. So it is a victory, but we lose out on the Radley Walters. Well, that was a definitely good game, that one. He's on his road to third mark at the moment, and he has got 2 up already. But he got another ace tanker game out of this one, as well as a master gunner for getting at least 5 armor penetrating shots in the road. Duelist to take down 2 tanks who damaged him. 5 for effect for doing more damage than hit points to his own vehicle. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10. He got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and on top of that he got a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. He actually got 7, 1 short of getting that Radley Walters, and it would have been nice if the KV-1S had left him, because it was only a 1 shot. All he needed was an HE round to hit that SU-100, and he would have been out the game with that. And look at the win rate on this one, 15,903, very, very high Super Unicum standard. And, well, he deserved the Radleys in this one. He really did. He put the effort in. He held the enemy cap area, or his own cap area, rather, in tandem with his Dickomax teammate, who, between them, managed to see off the enemy who were attacking in mass along that route. And the rest of the team came in almost like the cavalry at the end, but they weren't needed because he'd already done it. He'd done it all. He'd taken the enemy out. So let's have a look at team score and see what he did. 4,502 hit points of damage in a tier 6 game. Oh my god, that's huge. The next highest scorer was the SU-100 on the enemy team, who managed 2,365, and the third highest damage went to his platoon mate in the Dickomax, who got 1,484. His other platoon mate is in the T-37. He managed 1,119 hit points before he got taken out, unfortunately. So he was doing his proper job as a scout, but unfortunately he paid for it. But when it came to kills, look at this. Highest number of kills. 7 kills went to the TheCrazyPlatypus. The next highest scorers were the enemy Death Proof Hero in the T-34-85M. I think that was one of the ones that was attacking on the cap area, because there were, of course, 2 T-34-85Ms and 1 T-34-85 on the enemy team. Pretty sure this was the one that was attacking, and he managed to get 3 kills. 3 kills went to the OI, who went to the south, and 2 kills went to the other T-34-85M on our team, and to the SU-100, Hellcat, and Type 58 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, he almost scored 2,000. Look at this, 1,860. A very high win rate, base XP. In fact, when you score that sort of level, you are really close to total mastery of it, of this tank. And the next highest scorer only had 1/3, or slightly more than a third of the same XP. He got 693, and that was the Poodle, and the Poodle picked up a Confederate in that game as well. Remember, that was the guy who was a bit further on, who was actually right up at the bottleneck, the junction. And instead of actually going up to support the Poodle, TheCrazyPlatypus fell back to the fallback position, which was the correct thing to do, because the Poodle was overwhelmed. He was being hit by so many enemy tanks all at the same time. But in doing what he did, the Poodle actually did not only provide spotting to the TheCrazyPlatypus, but he did put up a pretty good performance anyway by getting 1,366. But he was in the wrong space, unfortunately. He should have been further back. He was using his gun depression correctly in that spot, but yes, he was going to get overwhelmed, and the TheCrazyPlatypus recognized that, fell back, and it did exactly the right thing, because then he had the position to take out those enemy tanks one by one as they tried to assault the cap, and it worked beautifully. So when it came to the third highest XP, that was only 619, yes, and that is less than 1/3 of the amount that TheCrazyPlatypus did get, 619, yes. So very, very well played indeed to the TheCrazyPlatypus. Let's have a look at detail. 39 shots fired, 30 direct hits, and 29 penetrations. He actually has 60 rounds ammo capacity, so he used just half exactly of his ammo altogether. 4,502 hit points of damage, of which 1,100 were at more than 300 meters, and 2 of those shots actually hit the Super Chappy, if you remember, and he did get standard rolls, so he got about 400 hit points in total. Out of that, 1,100 was at long range. 4 hits received from the enemy, only 2 of which actually penetrated 2 non-penetrations rounds into the shots. 375 hit points of damage blocked by armor, so he did pick the right spot to defend, because it was very difficult for the enemy to get shots on him, and so even though he got hit, only half of the shots actually managed to make it through. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 7 killed, 279 hit points of damage assistance. On a free-to-play account, he earned 64,111 credits from that game, and he only got, well, look at the costs there, he actually made a profit, which means that he wasn't using premium ammo all the time, and as a consequence, he did make money out of this game altogether. 35 bonds, so he must have completed an achievement, 1,860 base XP, 372 for being a premium vehicle, 2,232 altogether. Pardon me, just a burp there. Let's have a look at the armor, and you can see, because we've shown this before, but we'll show it again because it's actually relevant. You will come across these ones in battle. It actually does have basically a fairly standard 75mm upper plate coming out at 111, lower plate 45mm, so you can hit the lower plate and get it through. But it's got this driver's hatch here, which is a weak spot, and so is that machine gun port there. Although it's showing 90mm there, you can see that's the spot there. If you can aim for those ports, it'll go straight through. The cheeks, well, they're fairly strong, 90mm. You can, the mantlet's about the same. And the turret, well, it's got a cupola, but the cupola is about the same strength as the cheeks. The weak spots really are the sides of the vehicle, which are only 45mm, sides of the turret, which are 75mm. But of course, as I said, go for the weak spots. You'll be able to make it through those 2 weak spots. They're unique. You easily see them, and you know what they are. And of course, if you can get the sides, you'll get 45mm. If you get the rear, 45mm. Rear of the turret, 52mm. So anything on the sides and rear, if you can get it, nice. If not, just go for these ports here. I wouldn't say really go for the cupola. If you can hit the cupola with a premium round, yep. I mean, you could penetrate that with a standard round, an armor-piercing round, because of course the T-34-85 has 144 penetration with standard AP, so you would go through the cupola, but it's actually easier to hit the flat plate of the front of the vehicle because, of course, as you saw there, it's 100mm on that driver's plate. You can actually penetrate just about anywhere on this front here, which is coming out at around just under 120. So you've easily got about enough pen to get through that. Let's have a quick look at the modules. There we go. Driver on the right hand side, driver's mate with the machine gun port on the other side, gunner behind the driver on that side of the gun. We've got the loader on the other side, and the tank commander with that cupola behind the gunner. He's got the radio set. There's an ammo rack in the rear, in the bustle of the turret. So again, that's the spot that you can aim for, the bustle. Normally bustles do contain something that goes bang. There's another ammo rack here in the side of the turret, and one's actually in the shoulders underneath the turret. So if you can, plot the shell right for dead center. If you auto aim on, you'll probably hit it. But if you get those shoulder areas on the side directly underneath the turret, that's where there's an ammo rack. So you should be able to set that off. And there's another big ammo rack in the floor of the tank. Huge engine in the back, but the fuel tank is actually right at the rear of the vehicle, not actually on the sides of either side of the engine. So you're more likely to suffer an engine damage if you get hit in the side than you are a fuel tank, unless the guy is timing the shell to specifically hit the fuel tank at the rear. But most people will be trying to get an ammo rack on this thing if they can and pop the top. So there you go, that's where all the modules are. So a fantastic game by TheCrazyPlatypus. Thanks for sending in this replay. Always nice to see somebody doing well in the T-34-85M, as it is to see a Cromwell, because a lot of people want to see Cromwell games, Cromwell Bs. because they're such universal medium tanks that everyone seems to have, and they all want to know how to do well in those particular tanks. And of course, this is one of the tanks that's used for wolf packing and for clan wars. So if you do have a clan war group and you are going to go out fighting, you'll probably all have something like a T-34-85M, or you'll have Cromwells, or you'll have something of a similar nature. But well done to Crazy Platypus, nice game. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.